Okay guys, I just spent a straight month making videos, all of which were longer or more effort than normal. Some of them, tons more effort than normal. Even the Fraternacons videos were more effort than I initially planned. Also on that note, there was a new Fraternacons video out on the new channel this last Wednesday. The viewership was less than half of the channel's subscribers, so I'm just wondering if YouTube wasn't notifying people about the new video. If you guys didn't know, there's a new one over there. Episode 9 did get blocked though in 70% of all countries, so I'll try to get that one back up as soon as possible, but the newest one is still up. Anyways, after all that exhaustion I've heaped on myself over the last month, please let me phone this one in with a figure that seems like it was phoned in. And big thanks to Toolman, who helped me acquire this figure. Thanks man, it's been a real load off not to have to be solely responsible in finding all this stuff. The constant draining of my gas tank was getting more expensive than the figures themselves. Also, stay tuned to the end of the video for the monthly shoutouts. Okay, Ractonite, sister of the abomination that was Ractonite. So this is supposed to be a woman? Literally nothing about this design even hints that that's the case. I can see how Striker is a woman. I don't see this. What can I say about this design? Stocky, short, fat, and relatively uncool looking. The best part about it is the ornate dino head shoulder. That at least has some pizzazz, some showmanship. The worst thing about this thing is the complete and utter lack of hands. You'd think they'd sculpt something, anything on the end of this thing's wrist to give you the impression that she has some kind of fists on these stubs. Just imagine the torturous existence this thing has with a pair of dowels for hands. I'm just picturing this thing in the new Netflix show being forced to Powerpuff Girls up anything it wants to hold. For some reason, they have a Predacon symbol on the back of their hip. Really showing off your allegiance proud there, Ractonite. The chest is kind of weird here, because it's the only thing on the figure really sporting mechanical detail, and I think it would have been cool if they continued that motif throughout this entire figure, other than small touches here or there. And they also went stupid heavy with the brush on this thing. Whereas Paleotrix, it looked like nice intentional detail work. With this, it looks like someone who was bad with a paintbrush just assaulted this figure with the fury and vigor usually reserved for people having a different opinion on the internet. Head sculpt is not much of anything. It's almost interesting, but it just lacks any kind of personality. It's kind of somewhat knightly and monstery and robot-y, but ultimately, it's just too many clashing ideas to form a distinct personality. They could have leaned into the night vibe by having the visor down and making it look like a battle helmet, but it just looks like it's trying to hide its face. This really isn't like Paleotrix's version of this, where it's an entirely new head. It just looks like this one, but incomplete. How much better was the design they showed off for this in the artwork? The accessories this thing comes with is a rubber tail piece too fat to be a sword that could maybe pass for some kind of drill blade. I, at least, can also pull off the crest of the dino head, which does get me more range in the shoulder, and it could have been a cool little shield if it had any way to attach to anything. Also, these parts come off and I guess they're like darts? Why? Posing on this is odd. Average range on the head, completely asymmetrically posing arms, but both have way more range than is typical of almost any other figure. Above average hips, 90 knees, and the feet can pull a 90 in both directions. Honestly, it makes them look like they constantly rolled their ankle. Ah, shit! Also, the one arm you can fake a pretty substantial butterfly joint, but only that one arm. You can also flip the dino head arm around to get more range out of the shoulder, as well as something at least resembling one large hand, and also a shield at the same time, even if it does have huge gaps, so it can still block slashes, but not so much thrusts. But all of that is undercut by the horrendous feet, which are so small this thing can fall both backwards and forwards all the time. These feet blow. It's really hard to rate posability because it's so weird. Transformation on this is significantly worse than Paleotrix. Even if this is exactly as much the parts-forming parade as Paleotrix, it's all just so much less complex and less interesting. It really doesn't feel like you're doing much, and because of it, the sense that this is all cheating is made so much worse. Also, the way the Dino Mode shoulders attach is so limited. Posability for a Dino Mode isn't bad. Head still turns and looks up and down, with a working jaw. Front legs feel extraordinarily limited, even if they have more posing than most beast modes. They got some dino ab crunch for that humping action, completely unimpeded robot legs, and some up and down at the tail. Unfortunately, this is kind of where the fun stops with this chick. I find it ironic that this is a girl and Paleotrix is a guy. Anyways, this thing's weaponizing kinda sucks, and you can't really make any abominations out of the parts forming like you could with Paleotrix. All of the parts are just too big and too fused. The torso and head are all one piece. This is one piece, this is one piece, and then you have a couple legs and a crotch to work with, and that's it. I mean, what am I supposed to make out of this? You can do this with the head, and I have no idea why you'd want to. Originally, I thought it was part of the transformation, but no, it just seems to be a step so that way you can make the world's heaviest and worst spear. No. Almost works better as some kind of horrible dinosaur grub worm. There, that's the freakiest thing I can make out of this. Yeah, I can't recommend this one, guys. It's not very good, and I don't feel like if this is cheating us, it's doing it intentionally so, but I don't quite see this as being something worth what they're charging for it. I mean, it feels phoned in, and also like they might be trying, what with all the excess paint, but you can try and still fail, and this feels like a failure. If you still want this, I'm not going to say don't get it, but you might still feel a twinge of disappointment even without the highest expectations. Because let me be clear here, my expectations were only set by Paleotrix, and this girl doesn't live up to that. Also, can we all just agree that this is a dude and Paleotrix is the girl? And again, thank you, Toolman. I hope this video doesn't come off ungrateful in any way, because I was pretty harsh on this figure that you helped me to get. Believe me, I can't be more grateful that you did this for me. Anyways, time for the monthly shoutouts. If you'd like a shoutout at the end of the month, please send an email to PerspectiveEndShoutouts@gmail.com. And if you'd like for it to contain a link to your YouTube or social media page, please include the web address of your page, along with a screenshot of your channel banner. Also, a description of your channel would really help, because sometimes I completely fail to understand the core thrust of what your channels are about, and then I just call them eclectic. That's all the information you need to be able to get a shoutout. Congratulations to Cliff Jumper Studios. He just hit 600 subscribers and has the goal to hit 1,000 by the start of 2022. Here's hoping we can get him a boost towards that goal. Large Unidentifiable Reptile has been a subscriber for longer than most. She draws animals and is very good at it. Wish I could draw that well. Do you have any idea what this channel would be like if I could draw half that good? Christhood Reviews, or is it Christhood? A young subscriber putting out fairly regular content considering he started like a month ago and already has 13 videos out right now. This boy's got a rate of upload rivaling even mine. Happy birthday to Shush123 in 2 days. Maybe I should have saved this for Sunday since there's a video already coming out that day. Ark, a subscriber who's been with me since the beginning, wants me to shout out his brother and his brother's friends' channels as a birthday gift. So, please, go check out Captain Cookie Tube and text my tube. If you are looking for some Transformers figures like maybe Die Atlas, go check out John Goal's eBay page. Shout out to me, lots of numerals. How do I read this? Anyways, if you need shitposts, this man makes them. Matrix Pictures makes small animations. Honestly reminds me a lot of what you'd see back on Newgrounds when I was young. And that's not half of what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please, share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.